WCB Podcast, your source for all things Chicago Blackhawks and everything hockey. With your host, Jerome and Tanner. Let's do it. Jerome and Tanner.
All right, it's another edition of the WCB Podcast. It's Jerome. It's Tanner. What's up, bud?
Nothing. Just fucking hanging out, buddy.
Hanging out. We're officially in the slow period of the offseason, especially for the Hawks.
Yeah.
Considering July 1st was just an explosion of moves and essentially changing the view of this team from the last couple seasons to now. So that's pretty much all we really have to talk about for Hawk stock. We can just get right into it.
Yeah, they haven't really done anything since last week.
No. So prospect camp was last week. The Hawks, again, sticking with their whole theory of being one of the only teams that doesn't do on-ice development camp. At the end of it, it was determined that Leshinoff is going to sign his entry-level deal, thus making him pro, thus making him ineligible to play for Michigan State. Thus means he'll be competing for a roster spot, which basically means he will be spending a good chunk of the season, if not the entire season, down in Rockford.
Maybe. You never know.
You never know. But,
injuries happen.
So first off, before we really get into the decision, because there's a greater picture about that mindset with what KD and the Blackhawks management is approaching with this. Your opinion on the Hawks signing him and turning him pro versus, do you see any, downside to not letting him play another year at MSU?
No, because they're in more control of his development now. I think for the most part, it's usually kids stay at college because, that's what they like. If they go the college route, it's because they've always wanted to, and so they kind of want to stay there until they have a better shot at making the show. I don't know if that was Leshinoff's plan the whole time. It was just kind of he came over, got into the USHL, got an offer, and then he's like, fuck, I'm in the show. Might as well just take it. I don't know what it's like in Belarus, or maybe he's might as well start making money now instead of going to college, and who knows if he didn't really like it. But if it was me, I would much rather be at MSU than fucking Rockford.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. But I agree with you 100%. The Hawks hold the cards in his development. They get to say, a big say, where if he was at MSU, they can't be hey, play him in these situations, put him, playing with these minutes and all that kind of stuff. In Rockford, he's going to get the chance to not only develop with the Hawks organization, but he's also going to start building up, some chemistry with some of the younger players.
Yeah. Could end up being Korchinski there with him too, and they can be paired up top line, and that'd be pretty fucking good.
Yeah, as soon as we stopped recording last week, the Hawks announced they signed TJ Brody to a 2-year deal.
Oh yeah, that was right after? Holy shit!
That was literally as I hit upload on the episode to YouTube.
They weren't done signing people.
Yeah, so that means the Hawks are pretty much coming in with a full vet, give or take. What is it? So you got Vlasic, you got Seth Jones, you got Connor Murphy, Alex Martinez. I'm not saying in pairs, I'm just saying on the back end. Yeah. And then you have TJ Brody, and then there's that last spot that can go for Korchinski. You got Del Mastro can fight for it. You have Kaiser,
Isaac Phillips.
Yeah.
Maybe Nolan Allen. I don't know. It's honestly I think it's almost better if maybe Kaiser takes that spot and Korchinski gets first line ice time with Leshinoff in the A with Nolan Allen and Ethan Del Mastro behind them, and I don't know if Isaac Phillips is going to fall back a little bit, but if you're 6 defensemen in the AHL are all 23 and under, it's kind of crazy, but kind of fucking cool.
It's awesome. That means you're doing something right with your development. And then it's on top of that, you still have Renzel to come into the fold, who will probably be at the end of the year. Yeah, I bet you as soon as Minnesota season's done, he'll be probably making that jump.
Maybe.
For that last spot, though, I mean, I know ideally it would probably be nice to go with like a Kaiser or something like that.
Yeah.
And like you said, let Korchinski get some time and to develop more in Rockford, but you got to assume this is his spot to lose after playing 82 games last year.
Yeah. Oh, almost 82.
Oh, yeah, he was missing a couple, right?
Yeah, because of his dad.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
But yeah, it's true though, because he was on the team the whole time last year where Kaiser was sent down. I don't know what would be more beneficial. I mean, honestly, like Korchinski playing second pairing with probably Connor Murphy is still pretty good. Is it just, I don't know if it's going to hurt him more doing it all over again than like, showing some success. He didn't have a bad year.
No,
he finished the year really strong, so it's possible.
He had his growing pains and all that. Like there's times where he looked really good, and there's times where it was like different situation, different year. I think
he's not a huge kid, like
yeah.
Going up against like some mammoth guys in front of the net or in the corners, like he's got to get a little bit bigger.
So you got to almost wonder, because I'm looking at, since Cap Friendly is still up.
Hell yeah.
Seth Jones out and Alex Vlasic. That's the first pairing.
Yeah.
Connor Murphy, right D, Alec Martinez, lefty. Though that could probably be a pairing.
Maybe.
And then TJ Brody can play both left and right side.
Yeah.
So it's like if that Martinez Murphy pairing is the second pair, or Connor Murphy and Brody is a pair, it's like if Korchinski is going to be that wing, or not winger, defender on that third pair, yeah, I would opt to send him down.
Yeah.
I would rather him play first line minutes in the AHL than third line minutes in the NHL.
Yeah. I'm sure he would rather just play in the NHL though, right?
Right.
That's where he makes more money.
Did it apply to him though?
Yeah. I'm like pre-80. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Oh yeah.
Minor's salary $82K versus
Yikes.
a lot more. Yeah, I'm pretty sure ELCs are all like that kind of two-way stuff.
Oh yeah, 100%.
But yeah, goddamn, dude, it's a kind of a nice problem to have with like too many defensemen.
Yeah, and we'll get to this in a second here, but it's like in the mindset, like the amount of people that were happy that they added like NHL talent, but also not happy at the same time about the type of talent they added. It's mind blowing. But I mean, Kyle Davidson, we'll get to that here. Let's just get to that now. During the development camp, he spoke to the media. I think it was Friday, and pretty much just gave a state of the union after the free agency, after draft, everything calmed down, and basically to sum up what he was talking about with the vision of how this rebuild is going to go is he brought in these veteran players on 1 to 2 year deals, and then obviously Teravainen and Bertuzzi for 3 and 4. But basically to make it so the young players have to earn their spot on the NHL team. And if they are not at par where they need to be in the NHL, they can go down to Rockford, spend some time, develop, and get their game to where it needs to be. And he said, ideally, this would have been the plan for last year, but obviously the injury bug, I don't think anybody imagined the injury bug, and they definitely did not have enough talent on the team to allow for so many injuries. And that kind of forced the guys into the lineup, the Korchinskis and all that kind of situation.
Well, Korchinski started the year on the team.
No, I know, but like we were saying before, I think in different situations, he probably would have came out of the lineup to kind of like see the game from up top versus, still playing or, sitting on the bench kind of thing, health bombed him a couple times just so he can be like, okay, take a step back,
take a look.
Yeah. And watch how this, watch what you're doing and all this kind of stuff. So anybody that's like upset with a play, like, oh, you're not going to let the kids play, how is this still a rebuild and all this kind of stuff? This is exactly what a rebuild is.
Right. a rebuild isn't like 1 or 2 years. That's a retool.
Yeah. So you're actually, you are rebuilding. You're just, if anything, we're shaving off a year or two, probably
Yeah.
this rebuild.
I mean, with all the draft picks, like stockpiling draft picks. What I say, it was like 8 over the last 3 years that first rounders that he's used. It's yeah, fucking. It's gonna happen sooner, but it's still not gonna happen for like another year or two, where like they're really gonna start hitting progress.
Yeah. I mean, it's just like always to go refer back to the interview with Ben Pope. You go 8 games this year, you go, 10 to 15 the following year, and then you're right there. You're right at the playoff contention. And
Yeah.
you're battling for a playoff spot, you're battling for a wild card, you're battling for that third division spot, and so on. But yeah, it's just everybody who like last year, there's not enough talent to play with Bedard. What are we doing? Okay, we'll go add some talent to get him through the next couple seasons. Yeah, but those aren't the guys we want. We need these kind of guys. We need to allow the kids to play and all this kind of stuff. It's like, what the fuck do you want? Honestly,
Yeah.
like, goddamn.
That's great. I love it. I'm excited to see like what the lineup ends up looking like game 1.
I know I keep going back, and I really want it to be the top line. I want Taylor Hall, Bedard, and Teravainen.
Yeah, that'd be good, but probably not. Maybe. Who knows?
Maybe close to the season, we'll do like an episode where we build our roster, like our lineup for opening night or something like that.
Yeah.
Then there's still too much to be kind of determined here, and it's like, goddamn, I keep forgetting some of the guys that are on this team.
Yeah, I know. Seeing Patrick Maroon's name is kind of funny and correct.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh yeah, that's right.
So there's that. Also some cool little notes. They were doing some Zoom press conferences with some of the signees over the past week. Last week they had Tyler Bertuzzi, and they were talking about asking him, coming to Chicago and all that kind of stuff. And I'm gonna pull up the exact quote here. He straight up said, he goes, yeah, Chicago wasn't really on my radar going to the NHL free agency, but Nick Foligno called him to tell him that the Blackhawks were interested in him, and then things developed from there. I asked you this before we started recording. Nick Foligno is like the quote unquote like captain without the C, and soon to be assistant GM.
Yeah, he's like extension of the front office.
Yeah. And
assistant
you fucking love
to the GM.
Yeah, assistant to the GM. And you love that. I mean, the dude's been here for 1 year, and he already is
making a huge impact.
And he's really changing what it means to be a Blackhawk.
Yeah, it would be great if he can like stick around until they're like pushing for a cup. I don't know if he'd still be like as valuable, or maybe he's on the bench, still gets his name on the cup or something like that.
Longo style.
Yeah, I mean, he's probably like such a vocal leader that like Richardson probably looks to him and probably wouldn't like be like, no, you can't like be on the bench with us. I could easily see him as like an assistant coach or something.
Oh, 100%. He could take Derek King. I'm not even trying to be a dick. Like I completely forgot that he was still in he stayed on as an assistant.
Yeah, but I know. He's so funny.
Yeah, I feel like
interim head coach, and he's like, "No, I'm good."
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck?
But yeah, I love what he brings to the team, and this team needed a culture change. It needed to find a new identity.
Sorry, I was just looking. I pulled up Kyle Davidson on Cap Friendly just to see what his history was, and just like you were saying with like the Nick Foligno, like what his position is going to be. Kyle Davidson, when he started with the Hawks, his position was called special assistant to the general manager. He was special assistant to the general manager for 9 years, and then he became assistant general manager.
And what does that job get you? It gets you driving cars and picking up players. And from a story that we heard he was talking about with Tarasenko, that he picked up Tarasenko from the airport when he came into town from Finland and was kind of like his chauffeur and like almost like his first friend in Chicago until he got more like comfortable in the locker room and knew the guys and all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then during Tarasenko's press conference, he actually said that he did remember that, and that it's crazy that to see that how far he's came from the driver to the GM.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Also talking about Tarasenko during his press conference, he goes, "It's awesome to be back. When I heard they were interested, I was interested right away. It's the right path for me right now. It's an easy decision." And I think that it says a lot too. I mean, this is big picture thinking, but this team just finished third to last in the NHL last season. Or second to last.
Yep.
Second to last. They were third to last the year before.
Yeah.
And
players, we're going to be last this year, baby. Yeah. Let's go.
Players are seeing what's being built here, and they know where this could potentially go, and they still want to come to Chicago.
Yeah.
It's great.
Gotta love it.
If you have any concerns about the direction this team's going, that right there alone should ease them.
Yeah, I mean, it's a legendary city, a legendary team. I mean, we got some great fans too when they want to be great.
Yeah, and not miserable fucks on Twitter and
it's just the vocal minority. It's all good.
The vocal minority, yeah. The loudest people in the room are the few that nobody wants to listen to.
Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, I mean, what else do you want to talk about Hawkwise?
I'm curious if they make any other moves for the rest of the summer. It's like honestly, I still would like that, Rucker McGroarty, like pull him, hope the rebuild go a little bit quicker, like that'd be sick. But like, I don't know. Teams got to get under the cap too, right?
Yeah, Washington.
Yeah, they're fucking 13 million over the cap.
Yeah, Washington should hire some guys like from cap friendly to tell them how to run their cap.
Yeah, they hired cap friendly, and then they can't figure it out.
I mean, Vegas, Mark Stone's gonna end up going on the LTIR at some point. Yeah. Florida has too many guys on the roster.
And they just signed
Boquist, yeah. Which I'm excited. And again, we talked about this today. Like everything that Kyle Davidson is doing in terms of development and preparing the young players to put them in the best situation possible. Boquist's time in Chicago and how he was used by Bowman and that front office team. He's the poster child for why Kyle Davidson is doing what he's doing.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, Boquist got shafted with his time in Chicago.
Yeah, he was tossed in way too soon. And then he was thrown aside.
For Seth Jones. And then bought out. And now he plays with his brother in Florida.
Possibly.
Yeah.
They both have to play well enough to be on the team.
Yeah, well, I mean, they could also play in the minors together.
That's true. Or they can just both be hurt together.
Probably more likely. I think they both have bad injury history.
Well, maybe, yeah. I don't know. It seems like Jesper was bouncing between the NHL and the AHL team.
Was what, the Devils?
Yeah. And then he was in Boston last year.
That's right. Yeah.
So it said he spent 47 games with Boston and 31 with Providence.
So, I mean, he's all right.
Yeah, he must have. Whatever. Oh, wait, did Mackenzie Whistle sign on the Panthers?
Yes, Panthers.
Oh my God.
It's your problem now.
Yeah, right. Was that the last piece of the Hossa trade?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. I don't think that guy is retired. Okay, cool. Who's this guy? sorry, I'm just the other pieces of the trade that we got. The one guy's inactive at the NHL level, but he's playing in Sweden. Is this a goalie? What is this? Yeah, it's a goalie. I don't know. That's so weird. Kruger's gone. Andrew Campbell retired. Yep, that was the last piece of the hosted trade.
Completed. Done.
Shut the books on that one.
All right. Yeah, I think this will be a quick episode because I mean, there's really not much to talk about with Hawks talk. You got anything else for Hawks?
No, there's nothing. There's nothing else going on Hawks wise. Which is
All right.
come on, it's gonna be boring for the next few weeks.
Yeah,
They did. It's such a bang on fucking day one of free agency.
Yeah, and then nothing. So let's real quick. Any big signing or any more, not big signing, but more signings. I think Tarasenko might have been the biggest name that signed in the since we last recorded.
Yeah, bud.
With Detroit, 2-year deal.
Yes.
Which honestly, it's perfect. I mean, the Russian connection,
Well, here I kind of joked with our friend group that I was like, who would have thought that Kane's real BFF is actually not DeBrincat or Panarin, but it's Tarasenko. And there's an article on NHL.com, and it says Tarasenko credits Kane with help in decision to sign with the Red Wings. And he's fucking excited to play with Kane for a full season.
Dude, Detroit, they could be nasty.
Yeah.
I think they were getting a lot of shit for some of the signings that they did the last couple seasons, but I think it's starting to I think it's going to all balance out this year, and I think they're going to finally make the playoffs again.
Yeah, they're going to make a good push. I think it's crazy Tarasenko getting 4.75. He had 4. Oh, okay. Oh, that's right. He played with Ottawa last year. Oh my god. He had a good fucking year. Oh my god. Yeah. He had 41 points in 57 games with Ottawa, who didn't do shit, and he was still a plus player too. And then he had 14 points in 19 games in Florida with 9 points in 24 games in the playoffs.
Yeah, he was off to a really hot start with Ottawa.
It was only making $5 million last year with a no trade clause. Holy shit. 2-time Stanley Cup champion. And he's got a no trade clause for getting paid 4.75. That's not too shabby for him. Is he getting paid more than Kane?
18 no trade starting July.
Kaner's only got a $4 million deal. Jesus.
Yeah, he's got to take some money because the Red Wings have no cap space to sign him at $20 million before they hit the ceiling.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think that's gonna be on par with Kane. I think unless he decides to finish in Detroit, I think he's in 1-year territory. I think he's just gonna continuously sign 1-year contracts.
Well, I'm sure he'd love to sign a multi-year deal.
I
thought Tarasenko was the same age. He's only 32.
Yeah, he's younger. But I was I never what really hit my holy shit, we're getting old was seeing the plus 35 next to Kaner's name. Holy shit.
35 plus, and he's got performance bonuses. Oh yeah. I forgot about that. Kaner can make up to $2.5 million in performance bonuses.
Yeah, for one for playing 10 games.
$1.5 million for 10 games, $250K at 60 games, $500K if they make the playoffs, and $250K if he hits 60 points and playoffs. So, dude, he's gonna get paid 6.5.
100%.
And I really do think that they have a good chance of making playoffs, especially with how they changed their back end too a little bit. Cam Talbot coming in is definitely going to be a lot better than just having Husso and Lyon.
Yeah, and the Jack Campbell, I think that's a nice.
I fucking completely forgot Eric Gustafsson's there too. The Gustafsson to Kane connection, if that gets reignited in Detroit, damn, that's gonna be They're gonna be fun to watch as long as like Larkin can stop getting hit in the head. Like 68 games last year at 69 points.
Nice. Well, they still got to sign Raymond and Sider.
They got 20 million to do it.
10 million each. Call it a deal.
Yeah, right. How many points did Brinksy only had 67 last year?
He had a down year.
He was a +1 though. He was
I
a
wonder-
minus 31 the year before in Ottawa.
You know what though? I wonder what his stats were once Kane joined the team.
Oh yeah. Well, he started the year hot. He was like leading goal scorer. He had like 12 goals in like the first like 7 games.
Yeah.
But that is true. I'm curious how his stats changed when his Kane like came to the team. That'd be fun to watch him for a whole year now.
Oh yeah.
Like
I never thought I would say it, but I think I'm gonna be watching a lot of Detroit games.
Yeah, I mean, I'll definitely be like paying attention. Hopefully they'll be good. It'd be nice if they get to the playoffs and then like start to like make moves, and then the Hawks end up starting to make the playoffs, and we like it's possible. It is going to be so possible to see them in like the final.
Are we going to see Hawks Detroit final?
Yeah,
What if Kane's still on fucking Detroit then?
No.
What if Kane is still in Detroit?
You know what's going to happen?
Final game 7, he scores in double overtime.
No. You know what's going to happen is Kane will be on Detroit and they'll make it to the playoffs, and then because he's only on 1-year deals, Detroit is going to be like, all right, like we need somebody more productive. Like we're moving on. And he goes, okay. And he signs back in Chicago. Chicago has a fucking hot season. Playoffs. And just both teams steamroll all the way to the fucking final. And Kaner ends it. Same way 2010 happened. Nobody knows where the puck's at. And all of a sudden he pulls it out from behind the goalie's ear and fucking goes in the It'd be so good. And then that's just his career ends the same way that it started, by beating Detroit in overtime.
The shootout, that's right.
Well, that was his first home game. I don't know if that was his first game in general, but like that's like at the UC, and that could be good at the UC in OT against Detroit. Dominic Hasek's just in the building for no reason, and he's like, "No."
Oh man! And then up in the distance, Taves is just nodding approval, and he just walks out onto the concourse, and he's never seen again.
And then he just raises his fist in the air and just fucking pauses.
Oh, God damn
it. That's a good movie. I'd watch that shit.
All right, last piece of news here.
There's really nothing to talk about.
Last piece of news here. We are going to potentially be saved from having to wear Fanatics shit for everything. NHL announces that they come into a partnership with New Era to produce hats and apparel for all 32 teams. New Era, the bar is literally on the ground. Like, I have such low expectations to do a better job. Like, I just want to buy some Hawks apparel. That's design, nice designs, not like fucking Photoshop or not even Photoshop, fucking Microsoft Paint fucking logos and shit that falls apart or shrinks 3 sizes after one wash.
Yeah. Let's get some good shit.
Good shit. That's all we want. There you go. New Era.
Already got it.
There we go. So that'll be nice, and it's kind of nice that Monopoly Fanatics might be a little broken up a bit, but we'll see to what extent that New Era does it.
Yeah, I'm just future. It's gonna be cool. It's like I got fucking nothing. My head is done.
Done. All right, you want to do these tiers, or you want to just call it?
Oh yeah, let's do it.
You want to do the tiers? All right.
Yeah, my head's back on. Let's go.
All right, so we're going to rank the entire league's offseason so far. So where do you want to start? You want to start? You want to go right through the up and down, or do you want to go? You want to start at Fs?
Oh fuck, I don't know.
Let's start simple. Let's go Hawks.
Yeah, Hawks have been great offseason. Solid offseason. Another 3 first-round picks. Picked up some good wingers to help out the forwards. Still, I think it's very odd that like Bedard's the only fucking right-handed player on the for the forwards other than Craig Smith. And then that like kind of carried into the defenseman that they signed too. Everybody's a fucking lefty.
Yeah.
Everyone is left-handed. It's just it's very weird, but okay.
No righties allowed.
Yeah, dude, we're all fucking right on this team.
So I'm torn between A and B. And let me say the reason why I say A is in terms of what the Hawks needed to do
Yeah.
for their team to improve on what they did last year and to help this team take the next step. I think they absolutely knocked it out of the park.
Yes.
I think if you want to go B, it's in terms of, hey, they're just gonna be better than next year. Take nothing into account, like long-term plan, short term, they are a better team than last year.
Yeah, it's not like they made a huge splash in free agency that would have like really vaulted them to like an absolute A, but it's an A in terms of what they needed, but a B in terms of like what they could have done. Right?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay. That makes sense. I'm
All
a
right,
big
so
fan.
where you want to go?
Both. That's what I'm saying.
I will have to edit another
A B,
Blackhawk head in there.
B plus.
B plus.
Yes.
I'll
We'll
do
do
back
B
hand.
plus.
All right. Ducks.
Ducks are hilarious because they didn't sign anybody.
But they
Right?
did trade for Fabry.
Yeah, okay. So Robbie Fabry is not like anything special. Also, they still have John Gibson, which is hilarious because, like, when, if ever, are they going to move John Gibson for like anything? And they still have Zebras, which I'm assuming teams are still calling on him. Maybe, maybe not. The Hawks apparently were, but I don't know if they are anymore. Like, what's the deal? Um, the best move that they made this offseason was New Jerseys.
Oh, New Jersey. I'm like, wait, what do they do with the Devils?
No. They're new uniforms.
Yeah, right. All right.
I'd
So
give them like a D, I guess. I don't know. They drafted Beckett Seneke. Like, I'm sure it surprised a lot of people. I was pretty surprised, but I like the idea of like taking the guy that has busted his ass.
So are
all
we
year.
okay? Are we basing this on overall offseason for future, or are we
I
going
don't
short term?
know. They
I think
haven't
we should
done
just do.
shit.
I think we should just do short term.
Okay, they
So
haven't done shit. They didn't
Hawks
sign anyone.
would be a
As
B
far as
for
I know.
short term, and the Ducks an F for short term for this upcoming season. What they did to their team.
Yeah, because they didn't do anything.
All right, Utah.
Utah, I like Utah's moves. I give them a B.
B, yeah. I mean they
Why the
came
fuck
up
was Utah next? Why was
because I just moved the logo into where Arizona was because I can't adjust the logos.
Okay, I was like, this is the weirdest alphabetical order.
All right, let's go with Boston. Zadorov and Lindstrom, or not Lindstrom, Lindholm were their two big moves.
Yeah, they made good moves.
They lost Russ, they lost Olmark.
Yeah, they lost Patty Maroon.
Huge bummer there.
I would say, well, that Allmark trade was actually sick though too. I give him a B, solid B.
Buffalo.
They still have to sign Swayman too. They're taking Swayman to fucking arbitration again to argue. Oh no!
So wait, did the teams do it? Because he
no,
didn't.
I thought he
didn't file.
Oh, so what's gonna happen?
So I think it's just I think it's just RFA, unless the team I think takes him.
Weird.
All right, Buffalo.
Yeah, whatever. Buffalo. let's see. They have signed Jason Zucker, and they signed Reimer, Lafferty. They got Yogi Haru on a new deal.
Traded for
They traded away Matthew Savoie, who is like
nasty.
19 years old.
Nasty.
Yeah. Like, what was... I don't understand. Yeah, they get a D. I'm going to give them a D.
Calgary.
Also, they gave Zucker like a $5 million deal. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
That's all he does is sign 1 year, $5 million deals.
Is that it?
Yeah. That's what we did with Arizona.
He got like dumped by Pittsburgh, and then all of a sudden he's 5.3 in Arizona.
Yeah.
That's so funny. Oh, Minnesota and then Pittsburgh. Yeah, whatever. All right, sorry.
Calgary.
What did you say for Buffalo?
That's a D.
D? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Calgary is... Man, what is Calgary? Calgary's an F. Because, I mean, they signed Jake Bean and Anthony Mantha, but they had to get rid of Mangiapane. They got rid of Markstrom.
They need to just commit to the rebuild.
Yeah, dude. What are they going to do? They can't move Huberdeau and they can't move Kadri.
They need to acknowledge that it's a rebuild and not do this whole like,
yeah,
oh, we're retooling. No, you're not retooling. You can't say you're retooling when nobody wants to fucking come to Calgary.
Yeah, dude.
They're gonna be bad until they get their new stadium. I think once they get their new stadium, then it's gonna change things.
Move them back to Atlanta.
Carolina.
Let's
see. I don't know.
Jack Roslovic, William Carrier. They signed Riley Stillman. They got Shane Gostisbehere too. Tyson Jost.
Yeah, I
they
mean
they're Sean Walker.
They are clearly worse off than they were last year.
You think?
Yeah.
They still have to sign Seth Jarvis, and they still have to sign Martin Netchus and Jack Drury if they want to keep those guys. And they only have $11 million, so good luck.
I think they're a C.
I think that they're going to be still fucking really solid.
I think they're still going to be good, but I don't think they're as good as they were.
I would argue against that because I think the addition of Evgeny Kuznetsov like at the deadline last year and now having him for a full season is going to be better than just like they really just lost Tara Linen.
Gensel.
Yeah, but they got him at the trade deadline. So like that's somebody that they just that's okay. They traded him away. Or no, he signed in New Jersey. They lost Brady Shea. They'll be fine. I think that they'll be completely fine. Dude, I think Shane Gostisbehere is just not talked about enough.
Oh, he had a big season last year, big turnaround.
56 points in 81 games. Yeah. Oh, he was that's what I thought. He was in Carolina for a little bit.
Yeah.
So he's just making his return to Carolina.
So what are you giving him? I still think a C.
I'd give him like a B minus because like the moves that it's another one of those situations like the Hawks, right? Like I think they made the moves that they needed to make, not making like a huge splash or anything.
Columbus.
Wait,
I think they're C. They added.
Did you skip Colorado?
I think Columbus first.
No, okay, because you don't know that, but it's fine.
No, it's literally how this is loaded. The only one that was off was Utah. I didn't make this. I added really funny logos.
That's really funny.
God damn it! I want to find out who made this. And Sean Monahan. Still don't have a coach.
They still have to make moves, but
Patrick Laine.
They added Dylan Gambrell, and they still have to sign. They didn't sign Nylander yet, did they?
No, but he's a UFA.
Oh, he's just a UFA. They didn't want to keep him after like how he had a good season. Their biggest thing was buying out Adam Boqvist, which somehow gets them $66,666 added to their cap in space. That's weird.
Oh, I think there's like I I don't know the exact rules. Don't ask me why this is, but if there's a buyout after a certain age, it's actually there's a salary cap credit to you given to you.
Oh, weird.
Yeah,
because he's got like it's only like $500,000 next year that actually hurts him, but they're actually getting a bonus, which is kind of funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got to move Line eventually. They haven't really done anything. They got Sean Monahan, so that's
I'm gonna
like
give them a
okay.
D just because like they haven't done anything, but they did add pieces like a decent piece. Sean Monahan. I'm wondering how him and
Gaudreau.
Goudreau
Yeah,
together are gonna like how they're gonna be able to play together again. And if that's gonna help get Goudreau going. I mean, he led their team with 60 points last year, but I mean that's fucking far away from his 100-point season. What was it? Last season in Calgary?
yes, last season in Calgary. Yeah, I mean Monahan hasn't really done anything crazy. He's been getting better. I don't know what happened where he like dipped off, but it's not like a deal that's gonna hurt them for a long time or anything too. So yeah, it's a good move. I'd give you said a D.
Yeah.
I'd say like maybe a C.
See?
Yeah, why not? Just because they also got more draft picks. I don't fucking know.
All right, Colorado.
Colorado. What did they do? Oh, they did a bunch. I feel like Tyler Johnson's going to end up in Colorado, but re-signed Druin, signed Calvin DeHaan, which is the guy just blocks shots. He eats pucks. I think they did a lot of like low risk, high reward kind of signings.
Because they got to be careful with the cap. Like they got to
Yeah.
watch it because also there's the chance. I mean, the biggest addition for their team is if Landeskog comes back next year.
Yeah, that's very true. Spending 2 years off and coming back is gonna be hard, but that guy's high level as fuck. So if anybody can do it, it's gonna be somebody that like played at such a high level. They also they extended Casey Middlestad.
Yeah, I'm giving them
what
a
a
B.
crazy move that was. I can't believe it.
I think a B.
Yeah,
They're gonna
still be really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, they filled out their depth. I saw somewhere that they were thinking about moving Ross Colton. I was like, fucking give him to us. Like, I'll take Ross Colton any day.
100%. 100%. All right, Dallas.
Dallas just
Casey DeSmith comes in.
Yeah. Dallas is a fucking like B+ to an A for me because they bought out Ryan Suter and they lost like Christopher Tanev, but they traded him away. And then they went out and they signed Ilya Lyubushkin, Brendan Smith, and Matt Dumba to fill out their right side instead. And I was just like, oh, yeah, they're going to be completely fine. They brought in Colin Blackwell, fucking, what is it, CB43?
Yeah.
They re-signed Matt Duchene, who had a decent year last year too. They're going to basically be going into next year with all of their young guys fucking still getting better. And like, who's going to be the best one this time? Is it still going to be Wyatt Johnston? Is it going to be Jason Robertson again, or is it going to be Rupe Hintz? Like, they're going to be really good.
A really good team last year that just added to it and just tightened up a bit. I mean, I think we have a good shot at seeing Edmonton, Dallas again in the conference final.
I would agree. They brought up Casey DeSmith, and they lost Scott Wedgwood. That was like their biggest loss.
Yeah. We already talked about Detroit, so we don't really need to go in depth. I mean, I give them a B. I mean, they're doing all the pieces they need to like.
Yeah, I like the moves that they made, so I would say B too.
Edmonton, I think they are one of the bigger winners too. I mean, that forward group that they have now is fucking terrifying, and they are all in and going to do what it takes to win this year with so many questions around Leon. And if he's not able to resign, they're not able to resign him or all that. And then it's like, you guys start getting worried about McDavid, I think too, for the following year. I don't think it's like a one or another type of thing, but I think there's definitely part of McDavid that's going to be like, I'm going to look at this now than what he might've done if Leon was still here.
Well, here's the thing that's like interesting with Edmonton too. Like, I love the moves that they made. Like the low risk or the low value, but like you can get a lot from like Jeff Skinner because he was bought out. Like I forgot that was another move that Buffalo made where it's just like, ugh. But yeah, Leon Draisaitl in a contract year already. He didn't sign an extension yet. Like he's gonna tear it up and then be like, give me the maximum basically.
Pasternak 2.0.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's gonna. Who just tore it up last year? Like Sam Reinhart, like that kind of shit. Except for like Leon Draisaitl, 160 points. Like it's gonna be stupid. But yeah, making the moves for like Victor Arvidsson, Jeff Skinner, bringing those guys in, bringing in the guys that you know work, or like re-signing the guys that you know work, like Matthias Janmark, Corey Perry, brought them. They'll bring them at least to the final. We might not win, but you'll fucking bring them there. But they don't have any cap space, and they haven't signed Dylan Holloway or Philip Broberg, and those are two of their young guys that kind of like showed up pretty decently well, like in the playoffs. I think I remember like during the final, they were talking about Philip Broberg and how he started like in the A last year, and then was played almost more games in the playoffs than he did in the regular season, and he was like a huge part of like their playoff run. Played 10 games, was a fucking +8 with 3 points, and in the regular season he played 12 games and was a -3. He like really showed up then.
Gotta wonder if they're gonna try to get someone to take Cody CC. And then I've even heard stuff like possibly even Evander Kane being chopped.
Well, yeah, he was hurt. He didn't play in the last like 4 games or like 5 games in the playoffs.
So we'll go from Edmonton over to the team that defeated them in 7 games, the Florida Panthers. They lost a lot. Well, not lost a lot, but I mean they lost some. They had typical Stanley Cup, situation. You win the cup, you're going to lose players. They lost Stalock, who was a very good backup goalie.
Stalock?
Not Stalock.
No. Stolars. Yes.
Okay. Who's a very good backup goalie. You know what? My comment stays the same for Stalock. I don't care what you say.
Yeah, he is a very good backup goalie.
Montour went to Seattle.
Yep.
I mean, they were able to lock down Reinhart, which
they lost Ekman Larson.
OEL, who, I mean, talk about a career saver season for him.
Yeah, right. But yeah, locking down Reinhart and locking down Verhaeghe was huge.
Yeah.
Already locking, like, not even part of this offseason, but like locking down Gustav Forsling like during the year. I think it was this year where they extended him. Let me see. He signed his extension March 7th, 2024. And then he had the disgusting playoffs. And I'm sure he would have been like, fuck, I probably could have got more money.
Off.
Yeah, right. Like in the Conn Smythe like consideration as a defensive player, you gotta be like on point for that kind of shit.
All right. Well, I'm going to tell you this real quick. Wherever you're grading them, I'm automatically giving them 1 grade less for signing Entwistle.
Oh, okay. Well, we talked about them signing both Boqvists. What other moves did they make? They lost like some guys, but like they're not too bad. It says that they signed Chris Drieger, who was there like before Seattle was a thing.
He was their pick. He was their pick.
Yeah, so that's pretty funny. Nothing too crazy for them, but like their biggest moves were holding on to like guys that perform well there. So I think that they get like a B.
All right. Well, I was gonna say C just because of Entwistle, but no, you gotta put some respect on the defending Cup champ. LA
lost Matt Roy.
PLD.
Yeah, they lost PLD. That's a good move, actually. That's
lost PLD, and they took on Darcy Kemper.
And then they got rid of Cam Talbot, or they didn't sign Cam Talbot back. So I don't know. It's kind of odd. It's a good move that like they didn't keep PLD because like for centers now they're still going Kopitar, Deneau, and I don't know. Was Byfield playing center at all?
I think he was switching.
He was swapping around, like giving him more of a center role because he's such a big guy. Having him in front of the net playing center would probably be really good.
I forgot Caleb Jones.
they got rid of, or they lost like Victor Arvidsson. Who did they sign?
Caleb
Oh,
Jones.
they got. Oh yeah, they signed Caleb. They got Warren Fogle from Edmonton. Oh, they got Tanner Jeannot too in a trade. I don't know. They didn't really do anything crazy. I think that they get kind of like a C.
Yeah.
Their best move is getting rid of PLD.
Yeah, clearing out that cap space. 100%. Minnesota.
Minnesota. They didn't do anything. They get a D.
I mean, they just get a D for being Minnesota.
What did they do?
I feel like Minnesota.
It says they signed Yakov Trenin to a 4-year deal, and that's it.
Let's do this. D's. Montreal, they didn't do anything. I mean, they did awesome getting Demidov in the draft, but that's for future, and we're not focused on that. You give them an F?
Yeah, I'll give them an F. They didn't do shit.
The Islanders. Duclair, I think, was their big.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'll give them a D.
Oh, my God, dude. I can't keep up. Yeah, they also got Mike Riley. That's it.
Yeah. Philly, I think I'm giving them a C because Mitchkov.
Oh, yeah, getting him early.
Yeah. And I mean, the fact that they just outperformed their expectations last year. I mean, they're going to come back down to earth this year, but it's like I still think they're on the right path.
They still have Ryan Johansson. I mean, what else did they do? Nothing.
The other team that I remember really not doing anything, or there's two more teams that I thought didn't do anything. Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
I think they were probably a D.
They got Antti Bavillier and Sebastian Aho.
They're about to lock down Crosby.
Yeah, more than likely.
And then who's the other one I thought to do? Winnipeg.
St. Louis. St. Louis didn't do anything.
Winnipeg didn't do anything. In fact, they lost pieces. And
a couple D's.
St. Louis is enough.
Vegas didn't really do anything either. Vegas just lost Marchessault.
Traded away Logan Thompson.
Yeah, lost Alec Martinez, lost William Carrier, lost Michael Amadio. They just lost a bunch of guys. Lost Chandler Stevenson. I forgot he also went to Seattle. So yeah, they get like a D.
Who else didn't do anything? New York?
The Rangers?
Yeah.
What did they do? Yeah, they didn't do anything either.
But they're good. They're a good team. So I mean, they didn't really have to do anything.
No.
Anything they were bringing. So you know what? They get a B because you know what? Anything that they were going to bring is just going to make them better. So I mean, they're solid at B. All right. So now these are all kind of teams that have made a difference a little bit. Some for good, some for bad. Nashville. I mean,
huge.
I mean, swinging big. Let's go. I mean, lockdown Saros, bringing Stamkos, bringing
Marchessault,
Brady Shea. Like Nashville's going to be a problem. I mean,
they got a better backup in Scott Wedgwood instead of having Lankinen. They brought in William Carrier. They brought in fucking Benny Hinestroza.
Yeah, like our division, the Central Division, is so fucking tough.
Yeah.
And everybody besides the fucking Blues is just getting better.
Yeah, I'd agree. I mean, the Wild are getting better by like their young guys getting better.
Right. I mean, the Wild, they're not like, as much as I don't like the Wild, I mean, they're not a bad team. I think last year they had a lot of injury issues.
Yeah.
Which really hurt them. But all right, New Jersey.
They did
frauds. We'll always call them frauds until they actually win something.
Oh, I was like, they did it all right.
But they did pretty good.
They brought in Markstrom. That was like their big move, right?
Markstrom, Pesci.
Pesci.
They traded Marino.
Yeah.
I thought they brought somebody else.
They brought in Brendan Dillon.
Yeah, that was the other one. So I think they definitely got a better defensive group. They finally got, I think, a decent goalie. I mean, depends on which Markstrom they get, though. I mean,
it's funny that it's Markstrom and Jake Allen now.
Yeah.
At least Markstrom's huge, so they'll be good. Yeah, I think they get a B.
Ottawa.
What do they do?
They got Ullmark.
Didn't they sign Perron?
Yeah, and Perron. They brought Perron in.
It doesn't even show that on here. That's funny. On NHL's like free agent tracker. Yeah, they got Ullmark and Perron, right? That's their big stuff. Anything else?
They locked down Pinto. Like they finally got him down to a 2-year deal.
Yeah, I thought didn't he want to trade anyway?
Yeah, because they weren't getting to the points, and they're like, okay, no, just kidding. Here's the money we were going to give you.
Jesus. Yeah, so dumb.
So
I didn't know that they retained on Korpisalo too.
Yeah,
that's so funny. $1 million.
C.
Yeah, C.
Seattle.
What about San Jose?
Fine, we'll do San Jose because the stupid person doesn't know their alphabet.
San Jose, I think it's probably. I would give San Jose an A.
I would give them an A. Yeah, definitely.
But
again,
Foley and Wenberg are good, and then they also picked up Barclay Goodrow.
Yeah,
and Jake
Wallman, and then
which they didn't spend anything for Wallman, and then they're bringing in Celebrini immediately. They signed Will Smith already.
Yeah,
dude, they're gonna be much better than last year.
Seattle
gets, I think, an A, or I'd give them a B. Either one. They said, wait, do they haven't signed Beniers?
I'm giving them a B. I mean, you gotta really do something right to get an A.
Yeah, I like the Montour and the Chandler Stevenson move though.
Yeah, 100%. They're definitely, I think, going to be fighting for playoffs again next year.
So they need to sign Matty Beniers still, but they got a little over $8 million in cap, so they'll be fine.
Tampa Bay.
So
I'm already giving them a low grade just because of how they handled Stamkos.
Yeah, I want to, but I'm not going to. Because they got Gensel. Yeah, they got Gensel. They extended Hedman for like the fucking Stamkos deal, which is
exact same Stamkos contract.
Though they did lose like a decent amount of guys.
They traded.
They traded Sergachev. Who did they get in that trade?
I don't think anybody. Or was it
Moser? Wasn't it JJ Moser?
Wasn't it Geeky?
And Connor Geeky. Okay.
Yeah.
They brought in Cam Atkinson on like the cheapest of cheap deals too, and Zemgus Girgensons. That's so funny. I mean,
probably B.
It's not really that great. It's kind of fucking weird. I give them a C. I don't like their moves really.
All right, because I wanted to give them.
They also traded Tanner Jeannot away. Oh, Brent Seabrook they let him walk? Fuck.
I wish I could make another category here and just be like, fucked over Steven Stamkos.
Yeah, dude. That's crazy.
Toronto. They did some good moves.
OEL gets a B. Yeah, OEL, Tanev, Stolars. I don't know. Their goaltending still is. They're always relying on somebody unproven as a goalie.
But you know what, though? I think they're getting closer. They're giving Wall like all the chances in the world to step up, and they got a great safety net.
Their defense is looking probably better than it ever has.
Yeah, this is the best. Yeah.
But it's still just like doing the fucking same thing over and over again.
The big thing is going to be if they end up moving Marner at all, because I mean, there's still always talks about Utah and Vegas.
Yeah.
So, Vancouver
gets a B.
They brought in
DeBrusque on a 7-year deal. They brought in Dan Heinen too, and actually, I'll just give them a C. It was like okay. It's like I feel like they did so much more, but no, not really.
they are another team that I truly think they outperformed what they are expected to do. And I think, I don't think they're going to fall off hugely next year, but I think as good as they were, they got really lucky too that Edmonton was as bad as they were to start. Otherwise,
Yeah.
it's a different fucking race.
So I do think they they lost Zadorov. That's all right. But I think that they've been underperforming for years. And then they finally performed like I thought they would. And
last year is more on par with what they should be doing versus
that's what I think they should be doing for sure. Like Elias Pettersson and JT Miller are easily 100+ point getters. And then Quinn Hughes can be pushing 100 points too. Brock Besser should be pushing 30 goals. That team's fucking good. Thatcher Demko should be winning a ton of games, dude. Archer Shelovs showed that he can fucking handle the backup role too at this point. They gotta sign him, but yeah, they should be good.
All right, last but not least, the Washington Capitals.
Whoa, the fucking land of the unwanted toys.
You can't call them the misfit toys. They're just unwanted.
Is that what it was? Yeah, no, yeah, it's very unwanted. What did they do? They went out and got PLD, Taylor Radish, Jacob Chikrin, Matt Roy, Logan Thompson, fucking Andrew Mangiapane. They made moves. I mean, if it works out, this is the thing. If it works out for them, fucking A+. But it's really confusing, the moves that they made that make them, in my mind, I don't think it makes them that much better than the team that went into the playoffs this year. So that's why I think it's a C. But if they're fucking on fire next year, damn, hard to argue their offseason was bad, right?
Yeah. I mean, we can, what we should do midway point next season is reevaluate this list.
Yeah,
and see where it's at.
How the moves ended up working out for them.
Because I agree with you. It's the type of moves feel very Vegas to me, where it was okay, nobody wants these guys, so we'll take them.
It's such a buy low on every move they make.
Yeah, and it's very much though. It's just okay, we're giving Ovi all the chance in the world to get Gretzky this year.
It's so funny.
That's it. So all right, that's our list. Sure.
Fucking hilarious. We'll see how it works out for everybody. Washington's such a mind fucking. Oh my god.
So, all right. Go from saying this is gonna be a short one to going an hour. So we'll wrap it up there. Make sure to follow us. Oh wait, no, what are we gonna call it?
Oh, the rankings episode. I don't know.
Arty Party. If future's clear.
I don't know. I always do this. I never am ready.
It's an Arty Party.
I mean, you can just put off-season rankings because that's the literal fucking longest part of this whole thing.
Yeah. So, okay. Make sure to follow us on your favorite podcast feed, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, the big two. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, social media at WCB Podcast, and we will see you on the next one.
All right. Love you, boys. Bye.
Thanks for listening to the WCB Podcast. Be sure to subscribe wherever you heard this podcast. To connect with Jerem and Tanner, check out the boys at WCB Podcast on all social media. We'll see you next time.